Natalie. I am from Thailand.
My name is Osman. I am from Venezuela. I speak Spanish with my mom, my dad, and sometimes my brother.
My name is Moon, and I'm from Myanmar. I speak Chin.
My name is Claude. I'm 11 years old. I'm from Africa, Tanzania. I speak 3 languages. One is English, Swahili, and Kibembe.
I came by myself, so it was so hard.
When we were about to come in America, my mom told us that we're going to be taking little of English classes after school or in the afternoon, so we can know a little bit of English once we get in the plane.
I came with a bus and it brought me in 4 days.
Kids are immediately confronted with expectations that they are unfamiliar with. And if they're coming without a whole lot of English, then they're coming into a situation where they're being expected to do lots of different things than they've ever done in a whole different language than they understand.
I think one of the best ways that you can welcome an ELL student immediately is learning how to say their name correctly. So you just need to ask them how to say it and practice saying it until they tell you that you're saying it right.
Starting there, figuring out some specifics about both their language and their experiences previously.
My first day of school, I had it to speak English, but I didn't know a lot of English.
You could understand what people are saying. You just be staring at them and thinking that they're speaking another language that you'll never learn.
Yeah, because they talk in English when I come here first time, I cannot understand them. I cannot understand when I come to the school and I hear English every day.
When I came to America, it was hard because it was kind of hard to make friends and talk to people, cause you're from different place and they are from here, so it'd be hard to speak the same level of language.
Because those first few weeks or months are really difficult for them, and they might be understanding a lot of the things that you're saying at first, but they aren't going to start speaking in English for a while, at least some of them.
Definitely suggest by starting with getting a classroom buddy who's ready to take on that role, focusing first and foremost on procedures and routines.
Sometimes whenever we have ELLs who are just starting out in English, the first week that they're here, I will give them a set of cards with a picture of the needs that they have.
All language starts with oral language. So just making your classroom a really language-rich classroom, helping give kids sentence stems or parts of sentences to help guide them so that they aren't freaking out when it's their time to talk.
So I've done this in a class before, is I've taught a really, really short lesson about the water cycle in a different language. The last time I did it, it was in French. I taught them about the water cycle just for 2 or 3 minutes, this 5th grade class. And then whenever it was over, I gave them a quiz. But during the lesson, there were no visuals. It was just me talking about the water cycle. And then they had a quiz that was all in French. And so they didn't like how that felt, and we talked about it afterward, and I explained, well, this is how our new students feel whenever they come to the United States. So if you're able to do that, or show a video on YouTube in another language or something like that, that can be really powerful. Anything you can do to build the empathy for your other students.
We're not speak English well, but in Mr. Cart we can speak, even we can, we try. So yeah, that's so helpful.
You can just talk to people and they help you.
He help how to talk to people.
I learned English. It's really helpful for my parents. Yeah, because my parents do not speak English, so I help them a little bit.
I've heard from other core class teachers, just other teachers of other subjects, they're starting to really enjoy having these kids in their class.
The kids teach me so much. I love language, I've always loved it, but I never foresaw, for example, that I would be hearing Swahili lots throughout my day, and that has also been a really fun surprise. It's just the languages and cultures that I have been privileged to learn about and experience through the kids and their families.
So they've grown up in another culture and another system of education, and they have so much knowledge to share with us. We're lucky to have these kids in Springfield now because it's like a window to another world for us.